so Autism Behaviour. I think this one resonated with me because a lot of the casework that I'm picking up at the moment seems to be autistic students who are having some behavioural challenges in class. And I really liked kind of like the kaupapa in the module around like the behaviour is a challenge, the student is not a challenge.
Yeah.
And, you know, just that reframing and that kind of lens to look through. I thought, yeah, that's hopefully what we bring anyway, but nice to have it reaffirmed in the module.
Yeah, definitely. I liked, similar. I liked the kind of idea that a lot of the, you know, behaviours that we might see with some of our autistic children are like ways. They might look like sort of rigid behaviours or repetitive behaviours, you know, but they're really more likely to be the kind of ways of communicating, or the children trying to gain control over uncertain sort of situations. So, you know, when you might see, you know, like children kind of like trying to line things up, or, you know, needing like really exact, you know, routines and things like that. It was just interesting to kind of read about how, you know, that might be the kind of meaning behind that behaviour might be completely different to what it sort of looks like. And I thought it was also really interesting how that this module talked about stimming and like those sorts of really repetitive behaviours, and how like those stimming behaviours, you know, they tend to be a self-soothing or self-regulation sort of behaviour, but that we shouldn't be trying to like change those behaviours or get the child to adjust them to kind of meet, so, you know, what would be the word, you know, normal or social norms, you know what I mean? You've got to, and but it's been interesting because I've had a case recently with a child who has a lot of like really intense vocal stimming just all day, and it was one of the things that the teacher had identified as like a kind of, she sort of saw it as a massive behavioural challenge. And then, you know, but it sort of became quite clear that actually this child was doing this more when he was quite anxious or heightened, or when there was a transition in the day.
Oh, that's such good data gathering, though, to be able to go in and say,
and I
okay,
could
so we
see
look at this element of it.
It got louder, or it was, or it would kind of the type of vocalization would change, and I sort of had to like talk with her during our CAP meeting about the idea that like just really gently about how it's something that we don't really want to try and suppress, because he needed to do that as a way to, you know, regulate. And when I actually spoke to the child himself, I just asked him about like how, you know, I noticed that he sort of talks a lot and hums a lot and sings a lot, and I asked him, does he know why he does that? And he said that it makes him feel calm in his mind. And he likes to sing songs in his head all the time in his mind.
That's so cool.
And I was like, okay, and so I was able to kind of like pass that back to the teacher. And so what we've done is instead, like, we've got put these sort of other regulation strategies and kind of calming strategies in place for him instead, just to try and reduce some of the anxiety and and I don't know that it's reduced the kind of vocalization heaps, but it's
work in progress.
It's only been like about a month, and there seems to be a little bit of reduction. Have to see what happens, but
I
really
think, you know, I sort of linked some of this mahi to the Ross Green stuff, in terms of, you know, just like his kind of catchphrase that, you know, like kids do well if they can, and okay, so what are the unmet skills or the unmet needs that we can address to ensure that that behaviour doesn't escalate? And I thought that kind of fit quite nicely with a lot of the mahi in this module.
It really does. Absolutely.
Cool.
Awesome.
Thanks.